Hello there, everyone. Zero Eclipse, aka Leon Kuro, aka Vexy Boy here. And I have something to ask a few people, you lovable people, bronies, and stuff like that. You see, I'm having some problems as of lately keeping up with funds, and we've been on the verge of being kicked out onto the street quite a few different times. Um, if you'd like for me to continue to do the narrations, I would really like some help with contributions so we can actually make some extra money on the side so we don't have to worry about that at all. You see, I'll put my PayPal in the description below, and if you can give any form of money to help me out so I can continue doing these narrations more frequently, that would be very helpful. I'd really not like to be out on the streets, and I'd love to continue to give you guys the material you love. And without further ado, here is Equestria Human Spirit, Chapter 10, Part 2, A Look into the Past. I know, but I came down here to give you this. She held the sheath sword and John took it. What is this? John asked. My husband and I wanted to give this to you as a gift for everything you did for all of us. This is a special sword made by the toughest and rarest material in Equestria, Sunburn explained. John looked back at the sheath sword and gently pulled it out. To my complete surprise, the sword looked exactly like mine. There was a black crystallized rock on the edge along with a crystal in the center. Sunburn, is this crystal and rock? He started in awe. Sunburn smiled warmly and nodded. Yes, the crystals from the Crystal Empire mines and the black rock from the Canterlot mines, the strongest material to be known. John looked back up at her with shock. I don't know what to say. He then smiled warmly and hugged her. Thank you, Sunburn. She smiled and returned the embrace. You're welcome, my little human. At least now I knew that my sword was actually created in Equestria. What was still bothering me is how did I get it in the first place? My grandfather said he created the sword by hand. He doesn't even know about John or Equestria, does he? Little Lulu, I know you're back there, John said, breaking my trail of thought. Little Luna peeked her head out from behind a pillar. Sweetie, what are you doing? It's past your bedtime. Sunburn asked her daughter. I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to ask John something, but you started talking to him, so I hung back, Little Luna explained. John smiled and kneeled to her height. What is it you wanted to ask me? He asked. Little Luna blushed ever so slightly. Can you tuck me into bed and sing me a lullaby? She whispered. John chuckled and smiled warmly. Of course, my little night princess. He gently scooped the filly in his arms and cradled her like a baby. He turned back to Sunburn and smiled. I'm going to tuck Luna into bed and going to get some sleep. Again, thank you for the sword, Sunburn. Sunburn smiled. Any time, John. Sleep well. You too, Sunburn, John said, and took a little Luna to her sleeping chambers. I smiled warmly at John. He had such a good heart, though I still need further information about all this. Come, there is one more memory to show you, Luna said, and once more we were engulfed in the light. Year 15, 2,000 years ago. I opened my eyes again, and what I saw shocked me to my core. Canterlot was destroyed. Much of what was left was crumbled, gardens destroyed, and many things were on fire and turning into ashes. Celestia, what happened here? I asked in total shock. Celestia looked at me with sadness. A powerful god named Paradox tried to take over Equestria, but John was able to defeat him. But she looked in the distance. I looked into the distance not too far from us and saw Queen Sunburn and King Black Knight on their knees with tears running down their eyes. Mommy! Daddy! I looked to my left and saw Luna and Celestia, around probably 8 or 9 years old, running up to them. They stopped in front of their parents with fear in their eyes. Mommy, where's John? Little Celestia asked. Sunburn and Black Knight looked at their children and more tears fell. I'm so sorry. Sunburn held out a golden helmet, the size for a human to fit in. The fillies looked at the helmet until their eyes widened and tears fell from their eyes. You mean he's... Little Luna couldn't finish as she sank to her knees. Black Knight brought her to a heartbreaking hug and sobbed a little.
John made the ultimate sacrifice for us all. We will always remember him from our hearts.
Luna and Celestia broke down into tears and sobbed and wailed loudly. Sunburn gently took Celestia in her arms and sobbed with them. What I was seeing broke my heart. John, the guardian of this world, made the ultimate sacrifice and saved them all. This was a lot for me to take in. I felt tears pouring from my eyes from this heartbreaking moment. The sad moment was enough to remember the death of my family, losing my mother and my grandfather. Then the light appeared again, and I was standing back in the throne room and saw Shining, Cadence, Celestia, and Luna in tears. I don't know what to say, I whimpered. Cadence hugged Shining and whimpered a little, while Shining did his best to comfort her. I wiped my tears and looked at the two rulers. I'm so sorry for the loss of John, Celestia and Luna, even though I never met him in person. From what I know from these memories, I could tell he was a great man, and he will always be remembered. Celestia and Luna smiled a little, and the two gave me a hug. Thank you, Daniel. You don't know how much that means to us, Celestia said as the last of her tears subsided. He will always be remembered in our hearts and our parents, Luna said, wiping her tears away. I would like to know what happened to Sunburn and Black Knight, but if you two are not comfortable telling me about it, I understand, I said, smiling. The two smiled warmly at me. Thank you, Daniel, Celestia thanked. I smiled and nodded. Well, I'd better get packed up and head back to Ponyville. I looked at Shining and Cadence. It was an honor meeting the two of you, and I hope we'll see each other again soon. The two smiled. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again as well, Daniel, Shining said. You're more than welcome to see us any time, Cadence said, smiling. I smiled and waved goodbye to the princesses and left to my room to get packed up. John, I promise, I'll protect them, no matter what.